Hey guys, Brian Safchik here. So today I want to talk about what happens when your company is sold and why it might not be that bad of a thing. Now I see all the time, I have this all the time with candidates, especially in the industry that I work in, the pharmaceutical industry, where there's a ton of M&A activity, where candidates are afraid to go to companies, usually smaller companies, that may be a target for acquisition. So I want to talk to you today about why going to some of these companies is really not that big of a deal, and actually how it can work well in your favor. So if you go to a company and you are offered stock, right? So RSUs or options, right? Understand the second your company is sold, when your company is acquired, your shares automatically vest. So no matter what, if you have like 3 or 4 years vesting left on them, whatever it is, the second your company is sold, that stock will vest. Also, when your company is sold, that stock price is going to increase dramatically. All right, usually sometimes it doubles, right? So whatever, you're going to make a ton of money off of that as well. So you may do really well with the equity that you're being offered. Now, look, if you're not being offered any equity, that obviously doesn't apply to you, right? But this is for people who are offered equity. Also, a lot of times companies offer you retention packages. So it could take a number of months for the sale to actually happen from when it's announced to when it actually goes through. And a lot of times companies offer retention packages to people to stay until the close to help through the transition. So I've seen retention packages up to 80% of someone's base salary to stay for a certain amount of time. And then you may be offered a severance package. So if you're not offered a retention, you're probably going to be offered some level of severance, and that generally is depending on how long you've been at that company. So I'll give you a scenario, and so if you're someone who is, if you have a sought after skill set and you work in a part of the country where you have an abundance of companies in your industry, in your local area, and you're not going to have to relocate, going to a company that's acquired that gets acquired actually could be a really good thing. So I'll tell you a quick story. I spoke to a candidate this morning of mine who I placed at a company in Boston in November. And she's in clinic, she's a manager level clinical supply candidate. And that's a very sought after skill set in the pharmaceutical world. And she's in Boston where there's a million pharmaceutical companies. So good chance she can get another job, but she was a little bit worried about the company being acquired. And I explained what I just explained to you to her, and she ended up taking the job. But here was her situation. She had been with her previous company for a long time. She was a bit underpaid. At manager level, she was about 95 base plus bonus. We got her up to market. At my client, got her up to about 112 base plus bonus, but then she also got 1,700 stock options, right? Which aren't really worth much unless the stock goes up. But she was given the stock options with a strike price of $9 a share. Well, 2 months later, the company was sold. So she'd only been in the company for 2 months. The company was sold, and the stock went from $9 to $24 a share, right? So she just made $1,700 times $15, right? The stock went up $15. So she just made $25,500 worth of stock, right? That's what she just got there. Plus, she was then given an end date in May. So what she started doing was she started to look for a job in end of March, early April, and she has now landed a new job. Okay, and she also has a severance. She has 4 months of severance. So at the end, in the middle of this month, she is ending her new job. She's going to have severance coming, 4 months of severance coming from her old job, right? And she's starting the new one. So she's going to be basically paid for 4 months. She's going to be paid double salary. But her new company just increased her salary from 112 to 130. So this candidate just went from earning 95 base plus bonus to now 130 base plus bonus. Plus she got $25,500 worth of stock and 4 months worth of severance. So in her situation, I mean, she made out really, really well. If she had decided not to make that move because she was afraid the company was going to get acquired, well, she wouldn't be in the position she's in right now. She actually just thanked me so much for helping her make that move. You know, I have another candidate, and this is the last story. I'll get off this. Make this video short. I had a candidate a couple of years ago who was a chief compliance officer and ended up taking a position at a small company out in San Francisco. That 2 months after he started, that company was sold. Okay, but he had gotten a ton of stock options when he joined. Well, the stock doubled. And he ended up, and he had a change of control clause. So he ended up getting a year severance after the deal closed. So between the year severance and the stock, he made $1.1 million in 2 months by making that move. So look, this doesn't happen in every situation, right? I mean, but if you have a sought after skill set and you live in an area of the country where there's a lot of a lot of your industry there, and you feel pretty good about being able to land another job in what you do, I mean, don't be afraid to go to a company that could be acquired. You actually could do really, really well by making that move. So anyway, that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it if you found some value, and I will be back here tomorrow. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, come check me out on Facebook on Brian Safchik. I have my fan page. You can like the page and see these videos there as well. All right, have a great day, everyone.